Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to teach you how to make a shirt dress. That is a dress made with elastic thread. As you can see, the cloth is looking very nice. So in this particular video I'll also be teaching you how to set your shuttle, that is your bobbin case. I'll also be teaching you how to set it so that it can be able to give you a nice stretching of the fabric. So guys, I want you to make sure you watch the video to the end, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share this video, make sure you like.
So I'm going to be teaching us a smoked dress. So we are going to be learning an off-shoulder smoked dress. Now the dress I'm talking about now, you can actually make this dress both as a gown, as a top, or as any type of dress. Do you understand? But for the sake of this particular tutorial, we are going to be making a top, especially a crop top. Do you understand? Okay, so these are the required measurements. The shoulder is 14 inches, the bust is 9/34. So what I mean by this is the bust length is 9 inches, while the circumference of the bust is 34 inches. So we have the under bust. The under bust length is 12 inches, which is from the shoulder down to the under bust, and the circumference of the under bust is 30 inches. And we have the top length, that is the crop top length, which is 18 inches, and we are adding extra 5 inches to it. This 5 inches is for both the hemming allowance and for the extra we usually add whenever we are making a shed dress. This extra is so that when you shed your dress, like sometimes the dress tends to go up a little bit, do you understand, thereby not exactly the length you wanted it to be. So this extra is for both the hemming and for that extra that will be going up. Do you understand? Okay, there are many ways of making this shed dress. You can also make this shed dress without all these measurements. Do you understand? There are many ways of making it, but for the sake of this particular tutorial, I want to make a shed dress that will be exactly your fitting. Do you understand? So that's why I am working with all these measurements. So the first thing you have to do is to fold your material. It is very important to know how to fold your material. Now as you can see two materials here. Are you seeing it? This one is for the front, while this one is for the back. Are you seeing it? Okay, both of them are the same. So how do you fold it? Looking at this one, what we have here is about 15. So you fold with the highest circumference. In this case, if you look at it, the highest circumference, since we are making a top, the highest circumference is the round bust, that is the circumference of the bust, which is what? 34 inches. Now, if you are making a gown, the highest circumference should be the hip divided by 4. Do you understand? Okay, now look at how we fold it. The highest circumference divided by 4 plus extra 6 inches. Do you understand? That is 34 divided by 4 is going to be giving us 8.5. Plus extra 6 is going to be giving us what? 14.5. So when you look at this, you can see that it's actually around 15 and above. Please, I want you to know something. It can be 14.5 or more than, but please make sure it is not lesser than 14.5. Do you understand? So that's why you are seeing this one up to 15 or 15.5. Okay, so that is for the width. Now talking about the length, I've already told us. Talking about the length. The length of the crop top is 18 inches. When you add extra 5 inches to it, what do you have? 23 inches. Are you seeing it? 18 plus 23. Okay, now let's check this particular one. How many is here? 23. But there's something I want to teach you. Since it's an off-shoulder means that, it's not going to be starting from the shoulder. It's going to be starting off the shoulder. So that means you are going to be minusing some things. You are going to be subtracting some parts. That is, you can subtract 3 inches from it, from the total length. You can subtract 4 inches, 5 inches, depending on where you want the off shoulder to start from. Do you understand? So by me looking at it, look at it. Let's say what I'm using here is how many? 3 inches. Are you seeing it? So if I'm using 3 inches, look at it. Look at the 18, then add extra 5 to it, which is going to be giving us how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you seeing the 23? So we still have extra remaining. So that is how you fold your material. Do you understand? Okay, so let's mark out the measurement points, which is very important. So as you can see, we are going to be using a chalk. The bust length, so you guys can see, is 9 inches. So let's mark it out, 9 inches. Please, I also look at what I'm doing now. Are you seeing 3 inches from here for the off shoulder? Place your tape like this. Don't place it like this. Are you seeing it? Whenever you place a tape like this, means that you are working on a shoulder dress. Whenever you place it like this, it means that you're working on off-shoulder dress. Okay, so mark 9 inches. Please place it again here and also mark 9 inches. Are you seeing it? Why are we marking it out into 2? So as to get a straight line. So use your ruler and connect it on the 2 lines. Okay. So as you guys can see, here is the bust length. So let's mark out the under bust length also. Mark out the under bust length. Place your tape like this. Under bust length is actually how many? 12 inches. Are you seeing it? Make sure you mark it out into 2 again. 12 inches. Do the same thing for the top length. Top length is how many? 18 inches plus extra 5 inches, making it what? 23. Are you seeing it? Okay. 23. Okay, use your ruler and connect. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is the bust length, this is the under bust length, this is the top length. Remember, it's a crop top, and this is the extra allowance. So if you like, you can actually cut this one off or leave it for now. So the next thing, we are going to be imputing the circumference. So look at it, guys. The bust circumference is 34 divided by 4. It's going to be giving us 8.5. Are you seeing it? Then what do? You add extra 6 inches to it. Do you understand? Okay. So the under bust is how many? 30. Okay, that is 7.5. Are you seeing it? You add extra 6 inches to it. So as you guys can see, on this particular point, I want you to use the same thing you use for the bust. Do you understand? Since when you measure it out, here is not exactly to the hip, although it's very, very close to the hip. Are you seeing it? You can use exactly what is on the bust, or you can use the hip length, depending on where this one actually stops. So for the sake of this particular tutorial, we are using exactly what we use for the bust. But if you are making a gown, please, and you reach at your hip length, please put in your what? Round hip. Do you understand? Okay, so look at it. What we have on the bust is 8.5. Okay, 8.5 plus how many? 6 inches. Okay, so at the end of the day, as you guys can see, look at it. All you have to do is to look at it. All you have to do is to connect. Now look at it. Please, I want you to see something. All you have to do is to connect it like this, like I have connected it. Now, let me explain this in another angle. Now we are done marking out the shape. Let me explain it in another angle. There's also a simple way of doing this. The simple way of doing this is your highest circumference, which is the bust. When you measure it out, 8.5. Are you seeing it? Put exactly 6 inches here and use your rule and take it down straight 6 inches. Do you understand? That is another method. In fact, that is the most common method. But I choose to use my own, do my own like this. I choose to put shape on my own, so that when you wear it, it will give you a perfect shape. Do you understand? So that the elastic will also be working with the person's shape. That is it. So next thing we are going to be doing now is we are going to be constructing the armhole. But before we start that, look, there's something we are going to be doing. From here, are you seeing it? From this edge here, you are going to be marking out 5 inches. Are you seeing it? This 5 inches now is representing that point that the armhole length is going to be coming from. That's what. Please, this 5 inches, you can actually use it as fixed figure. Do you understand? No matter any measurement is going to work, since it's a shared dress. Okay. Now let me show you exactly what this 5 inches means. At this point, this 5 inches. Now, assuming this is our normal dress, look at it that has shoulder. From here, are you seeing it? This is where the shoulder starts. Now let me show us. Look at it. This is the 3 inches. Are you seeing it? Okay, so if I'm to draw a straight line to show us, now let me draw a straight line. Okay, look at it. This is where you usually find the neck. Are you seeing it? So look at it. At this point, take it straight. So we take it at this point. Are you seeing it? Usually at that point that the armhole usually comes. Are you seeing it? So always use how many? 5 inches. Okay. So next thing we are going to be doing, you are going to be marking out the armhole length. In order for us to mark out the armhole, look at it. Please, this is the 3 inches. Are you seeing it? This is the 3 inches. But remember that when you are making a normal dress, you usually step down by how many? 1 inch. This 1 inch you step down is for the shoulder slope. You also have to do it on this one. Even if you are doing off shoulder, it's compulsory. Because if you don't do it, your armhole is going to shorten. Now look at it, guys. This is the 3 inches and we have stepped down. So it automatically becomes what? 2 inches. Are you seeing it? Look at it. This is how it works. So now, the armhole length. We already have a formula for armhole length. And the simplest formula we have is whatever the shoulder is, is what we are going to use. That is, if the shoulder is 14 divided by 2 is going to be what? 7 plus extra half is going to be what? 7.5. Okay, so guys, look at it. For this particular person, look at where it has landed. Are you seeing it? Now look at it. Draw a straight line like this. Okay. Now draw a horizontal line like this. Are you seeing it? So at this point is where we are going to be marking out our armhole curve. Look at it. So mark out your armhole curve like this. Are you seeing it? So this is how to get it. Is there any question around here?
Yes.
So guys, the next thing to do now is to use your scissors and cut it out. Please also remember this is the front and this is the back. Okay, now look at it. Take your scissors, cut both out. We are going to be cutting both of them out. Okay. Now also cut out this particular place. Both of them. Please remember what I said here. It must not be curved like this. You can actually use the bust and take it straight. So when you are done, next thing I want you to do is to open the back, because this method that we are going to be using to sew this, it is only at the back that we are going to, like, the final joining is going to be from the back. So what do I mean? First of all, we join all the sides, make it one. So after we are done sharing, after we are done sewing with the elastic thread, that is when you can now close from the back. Do you understand? So that's the method. So let's open the back. Okay, as you can see, we are 100% done. Okay, so we are going to be cutting the sleeve. As you can see, the sleeve on the screen, that's what we're going to be working on. So in order to cut the sleeve, if you notice, I've folded for both the front and I've folded for both the right and left sleeve. Are you saying it? Okay, so how did I fold? Please, you fold according to how puffy you want your sleeve to be. Do you understand? For the sake of this particular tutorial, I'm making my own to be 10 inches. Are you seeing it? So look at it, it's actually more than 10 inches, but I'm going to be using 10 inches. Do you understand? Okay. Please, if you want your own to be, more puffy, you have to use more than 10 inches. So the length, if you look at the screen on the sleeve on your screen, you can see that it's a long sleeve and it's puffy. So the length of the sleeve length is 22 inches. We are going to be adding extra 5 inches to it. This 5 inches is both the hemming and the puffy nature. Do you understand? So 22 plus 5 is going to give us 27. Okay, so mark out 27 and then cut it out. So now let's continue. So the next thing remaining is to actually cut off the armhole on the sleeve. Do you understand? So for off shoulders, I'm going to show you the simplest way on how to get the armhole. The simplest way on how to get the armhole, you actually get it from your pattern which you have drafted. Do you understand? So now look at what I'm going to be doing. Just place it like this. Make sure it is equal. Are you seeing it? And cut it out. Okay. Now when you cut it out, it means that you have actually gotten the armhole. Are you seeing it? This is for off shoulders. Now look at it. We are going to be fixing it like this. Look. Everything is actually very equal. Are you seeing it? This is it. So there's no two ways of like that. We don't need to, stress ourselves. It's just like that. Very simple. So next thing we are going to be doing now is we are going to be sewing. So you have to prepare your shuttle, your reeler, and your elastic thread. Okay, this is the front. This is what we are going. This is the back. This is what we are going to be doing. Are you seeing it? This is the back. So this is the front now. First thing I want you guys to do is to first of all, you have to overlock your material. Weave it out. Are you seeing it? Weave it out. So after you are done doing that, take it and sew like this. Look at it. Sew the front to the left side of the back. Sew this one to the right side of the back. Are you seeing it? Then iron it out. Then at the end of this, it's going to be one. Okay, so guys, what we are going to be doing now is that we are going to be closing the sides. Are you seeing it? Yes. We are going to be closing the side. Please, we are going to be closing the side with ½ inch. Do you understand? ½ inch all through. So let's close the side with ½ inch. Okay guys, now you are done. Next thing you need to do is to go to the ironing table, iron it out. Please, anywhere you sew, make sure you iron it out. Then after you are done doing that, next thing you need to do is to hem the down part. Are you saying it? You must hem the down part, please. For the sake of this particular tutorial, I'll be hemming with 1 inch. Are you saying it? I'm folding half an inch here, then extra half an inch again. So let's sew. Okay guys, when you are done, as you can see, we have hemmed the down part. Do the same thing at the upper part. Do you understand? Do the same thing at the upper part. Let's hem the upper part. Let's see, we are done with the hemming. So next thing we are going to do is that we are going to be sewing with our elastic thread. Do you understand? We are going to be making it a shirt dress. And something I want to teach us is not everybody that can actually sew in a straight pattern. Do you understand? So I advise you use a rule to rule lines. Do you understand? Rule it. Make sure the gap should be like half an inch to each line. Do you understand? When you rule one line, make sure you give another half inch, rule another line. If you are starting from here, are you seeing it? Mark half an inch, mark it to the end. Do you understand? Mark another half an inch like this. Just be placing it like this and mark it to the end. Look at it. Mark it to the end. Are you seeing it? Place another half like this, mark it to the end. If it is this way that you can get your work in a straight pattern, it is okay. But to tell you the truth, I don't think I'm going to be doing all these things because I think I can give myself a straight work. Do you understand? But another thing I need you to do, please, whether you don't want to use this line or not, one thing I want you to do is, please, look at it, it's very important. First of all, do something like this. Let's say in a situation, me, personally, I don't want to mark all these lines, but there's something I must do. Look at it. This is where I want to start. Are you seeing it? I'll place my material like this. Are you seeing it? Make sure that this one will actually be landing at the same point. Do you guys understand? Yeah. So if I'm working on this first one, if I'm sewing from this first one, I'll make sure it lands on this part. Thereby, all this is going to be guiding me all through. Do you understand? In a situation whereby I start sewing from here, not knowing, I now end up here, it means that the line has started becoming bent in a particular way. Do you understand? It's not like what you're going to sew is going to be too perfect, but at least let it be okay. So let's start, guys. Before we start, there's something I want to teach us. You need your shuttle. Please, I advise you get a different shuttle for this project. Do you understand? Why am I saying you should get a different shuttle? Now, let me show you guys an example. Look at, we have a shuttle here. This is my regular shuttle. Are you seeing it? This is my regular shuttle. And this is the elastic thread. Please, I want you to know something. Look at how this thing works. I know most of us don't know. Some of us think that, like, they'll be asking questions like, this elastic thread, how is it going to pass towards all this line like this thread? Please, I want to assure you something. It is the major thread that comes at the top of the dress. Do you understand? The original thread. Then under is where we have this elastic thread. Are you seeing it? This elastic thread is for the bobbin. That is the reeler. While the real thread is for the upper threading. Are you seeing it? Okay, so that is how this thing works. So look at, we have a normal shuttle. Look at it now. I want to insert it. When I want to insert it, you guys remember that this thing is it's bolder than a normal thread. So that means it's not going to enter. Are you seeing it? Some will enter. If your own enters, just know that your shuttle is already loose, which is not good for your normal stitching. Do you understand? Are you seeing it's not entering? So what people usually do is that they will use their screwdriver like this. Are you seeing it? And loosen it out. Now look at it, guys. Let's do it. Are you seeing it? And loosen it out. Is it showing? Yes. Now when they loosen it a bit, they will now check it. Are you seeing it has entered? Are you seeing it has entered? Then when they finish sewing this particular dress, they will have to do what again? Remove it. They will have to remove it and they tighten it back again. Now they will have to remove it and they tighten it back again. So let's tighten it back. Are you seeing it? They will not have to
tighten it back again. So if you try to put this thing, it is not going to enter again. Are you seeing it? Now I did it successfully. But let me tell you the truth. Some people ends up, when they lose it, sometimes they spoil the shuttle, they over losing it, and this one will fall out. And you know this one is very, very small. So at the end of the day now, I advise you have a differential so that whenever you losing it and set it exactly the way you want, that shuttle will be your forever shuttle for sharing. That is for elastic sewing, thread sewing. Do you understand? Okay. So, and I have a shuttle which I've already prepared for my stitching. Are you seeing it? This is it. So I'm going to be using this particular one. This is one I've been using. Are you seeing it? Okay. So I'm going to teach us how to reel the thread. It is very, very important. Most people will teach you to reel the thread with your hand like this. Look. Okay, let me show you. Look at it. Look at the thread itself. You see how the thread is. Do you understand? You can find it in the market. Are you seeing it? Okay. So most people will tell you to reel the thread this way. Look at it. Okay, now look at it. They will tell you to reel it with your hand manually. To tell you the truth, it is not a bad idea. It is also nice. But for me, this is actually going to waste my time. I have other alternatives. Do you understand? I'll be reeling it with my machine. That's just the truth. But there's one secret in reeling it. When you are reeling it, don't overstretch it. Neither will you reel it so loose. Do you understand? It's kind of like, as you are reeling it, you are not stretching it, but it's stretching naturally on its own. Do you understand? So that it will help it sit very well on the reeler. Do you understand? Okay, so let me reel with the white. Please always work with a matching thread. As you can see, we have white here. So I want to make use of white for this particular project. So as you guys can see, I've actually kept the thread on the floor because it's better for me. I usually keep it on the floor. So I will now have to quietly reel a little bit with my hand like this. Are you seeing it? Then when I'm done, now it is firm. When I'm done, next thing I need to do is to look at where I'm going to reel it on my machine. Are you seeing it? So if you're making use of industrial machine, this is where to reel it. If you're making use of a normal manual machine, you can also reel it. Do you understand? But the secret is that when you are reeling it, see, don't overstretch it. Do you understand? All you have to do is to allow it to roll, but let it not be too loose. Okay, let's do that. Now look at it, guys. Are you seeing it? Please don't overstretch it. Okay, are you seeing it? And don't over reel so as for it not to affect your shuttle. Do you understand? And one thing I would advise you is that when you reel it, take another reeler and reel again, so that as you are sewing, let it not be that this one will finish and you will not have to waste a lot of time to reel another one. So guys, look at it here. After you are done reeling it, are you seeing it? Now this is how you fix it. This is how you fix it. You make sure that this extra one is coming towards you. Do you understand? Then you put it like this. When you put it, then enter it through here. Okay, are you seeing it? Now try to roll it a little bit. You can cut off the excess. Okay, then next thing you now put it under and fix. So make sure you reel your thread like this. Are you seeing it? Make sure that it's not tangling anywhere. Now look at it. Next thing I want you guys to do is, when you are threading, make sure that here is not too loose. Do you guys understand? Make sure that here is not too loose. Neither is it too tight. That is what I mean. That's the tension. Then another part is here, the stitch regulator. Are you seeing it? Another part is the stitch regulator. Please, I want to let you know something. You shouldn't make it to be very tight. You should just leave it around 2, 3, and 4, depending. Do you understand? But for the sake of this particular tutorial, I'm going to be leaving it at 3. Do you understand? I can still choose to use 4, but I just noticed that the more loose stitch you use, the more it gathers. Do you understand? So these are the settings you have to do. It is very, very important you do that. Okay. Before you sew, I know some of us might be like, are you going to backstitch first or not? You need to backstitch. Yes, you need to backstitch, so as to make sure that it is safe there. It is safely stitched. Now look at it. You can backstitch. Yes, it's going to work. Do you understand? Then you can now start sewing. Okay. Now let's start sewing, guys. Are you seeing it? It have already started gathering. Okay. Remember what I said, you should start sewing with how many? Half inch. Half inch. If you don't know how to sew straight, then make sure you use your rule and there draw a line.
Okay. This, as you are sewing, that's something I want to advise you. That's why I say you should iron this thing first. Make sure that this thing is being expanded like this. Are you seeing it? Please, just make sure it is expanded like that. So guys, then for some of us that will be sewing and they now notice that they will not be like, this is not actually working. No, are you seeing it? One thing I want to let you know is that you don't see everything like this till you get like, till you sew like up to five stitches. Do you understand? Still sew up to 5 times. That's when you now start seeing the beauty of what you are doing. So let's continue, guys. So guys, as you guys can see, we are done with the stitching with the elastic thread. Are you seeing it? We are done. So next thing we have to do is to trim out some of the excess from the elastic thread. That's the next thing we have to do. As you guys can see, I've trimmed it off. Majority of them I've trimmed it off. So when you are done trimming it off, the next thing you have to do is to fold it like this. Are you seeing it? Now you now have to sew from the back. Are you seeing it? Sew it down. That's what you have to do. Please, before you do this, you have to remove the elastic thread from the shuttle or from the bobbin case. Replace it with a normal thread and sew. You don't have to sew with an elastic thread. Okay, so look at it, guys. When inside move, you're gonna hear. So as you guys can see, now you are done. Are you seeing it? All you have to do is to turn it. Please never you use iron on it. So as you guys can see, look at it here, it shrinks. When you wear it, that's when it's going to come out. So what is remaining now is the sleeve. Do you guys understand? So with the style of the sleeve we are making, look at the sleeve we already cut out. Okay, look at the sleeve. So first thing we need to do is to hem the upper part. Do you understand? And we also need to hem the down part. Please, I want you to remember something. Whatever you use to hem the upper part of your dress is what you use to hem the upper part of the sleeve. Do you understand? If you use 1 inch to hem your dress, use 1 inch to hem the sleeve. You use ½ inch. And I remember that I use like quarter inch to hem. Do you understand? If you did not do it like that, remember we use the same measurement to cut the sleeve. Here they are no longer going to be equal. Okay, so let's sew. Please do the same thing on the other sleeve. Hem both the upper part and the lower parts. Okay guys, so I'm going to be preparing this. As you can see, we are done sewing out we are done hemming the sleeve. So next thing we are going to do is that we are going to be using the elastic thread to sew on it. So we are going to be starting from here. Are you seeing it? So let's sew. Please, we are going to be sewing like 5 inches. No, we are going to be sewing 5 lines. Do you understand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Descending at the half length, descending at the down part. That's what we are going to be doing. So let's do it, guys. Now look at it. How did I get this particular point, the half length? You notice from here to here is 12 inches. That is the elbow length. Even though it's an off shoulder, but I decided to make it exactly the elbow length. Now look at this down part. From the full length of the sleeve, what we have to do is we have to step up by 4 inches. Are you seeing it? This is the line. So we are going to see how we are going to be sewing it. So guys, as you can see, we are done with the sleeve and we are done with the body of the dress. So next thing we are going to be doing now, we are going to be closing this part of the sleeve. Are you seeing it with ½ inch? Please carefully close it. That's what we are going to be doing both on the right and on the left sleeve. Okay guys, when you are done, next thing you need to do is to turn it. As you can see,
we are 100% done. So I just want to show you how it's looking. Look at it. When you wear it, it's going to look better. So let me turn it back again because I'm about to fix it on the dress. This is how you work on the both on the left and on the right. Now look at it, guys. Look at it. In order for you to fix it, look at it. You have to keep it this way. Look at how you have to. Are you seeing it? Something like this. That's how you work on it. Okay. So now let me start from the center. Let me start from the center. Are you seeing it? This center part here of the sleeve. Look at it, and center part of the body. Are you seeing it? Okay. Why I'm starting from the center is because remember when we cut this sleeve, it was exactly the body. So let's work on this. Okay guys, next thing you need to do is to still start from that center, do the same thing to the other side. Or you can start from here, from the beginning. Are you seeing it? Then sew to this side. Let's do that. It's like I said, this is exactly what you have to do, both on the left and on the right part of the sleeve. So guys, as you can see, we are 100% done. So we are going to test it now, and you guys are going to see the fitting. Thanks, and may God bless you. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. God bless you.